To help understand the Prospector tab and the Setting tab, we'll take a quick practical example will show us the use of these two tabs. As you can see in my Prospector tab, I don't have any points, I don't have any point groups, there is nothing activated when I'm saying we don't have any points or point groups. Even under the alignments, we don't have any current alignments. You'll see the difference after we draw an alignment in a second, and you'll be able to tell the difference between where you have objects or you don't have objects under that title. So if we go ahead and just take an example for drawing a simple alignment, if I go to the Create Design panel, under Alignments, I go to the Alignment Creation tool. So the Alignment Creation tool asks me what name we need to provide to the alignment. I'll call it Alignment 1. Under what site, it's not important to us at this stage for the site. As we agreed, this is an example, just will help us to understand the Prospector and the Setting tabs, as well as will continue helping us setting up the settings for our file. What labels do we need to show there? If I'll go all the labels, I'll choose all the labels, I'll press OK. That will give me the alignment layout tools. Alignment layout tools contains a group of tools will help us to draw or amend an alignment. We'll go through these tools in a second in more details, but for now, the first tool on the left hand side will help us to draw the alignment. And if I click on the arrow, that will give me three options. I'll choose either to draw a tangent alignment with no curves. In other words, I'll get the straight line, then another straight line of the horizontal alignment without any curves, or I can draw tangent with curves. Civil 3D will provide these curves based on settings, and these are the settings for these curves. So if I press on the settings for the curve, it's giving us a curve radius of 200 meters. As we agreed, we're not going to go through the details for the engineering design at this stage. What we are interested in understanding the Prospector and the Setting tabs and the use of these two tabs. If I go OK, and I'll choose to draw tangent with curves. As we all know, we are drawing a horizontal alignment for a road. So I'll start from a given point from here, for example. As I click to the end of the tangent, Civil 3D start drawing the curve to the second tangent that I'm proposing to draw here. So if I draw another tangent, Civil 3D providing all the curves for these points. If I press OK, which is enter, that will give us the new horizontal alignment for this road. What can we see on this alignment so we can be familiar with it? To start with, this is the starting point of the alignment, and that will give us the design speed for this proposed road as per the settings already in Civil 3D. We can change these settings down the track, and this is giving me station 0. The point of station 0 is the starting point of the road. So station in Civil 3D, for the terminology, station refers to the chainages, what we went through during our course. Station 0 will be chainage 0. And as we go along the alignment, the chainages or the stations increasing. Each 20 meters will give me a new label for that alignment. As we get to the point where the tangent will finish and the curve will start, during our lectures we call this point as TP1, the tangent of point 1, which is the starting of the curve. In Civil 3D, this point called PC, which is the point of curve. In other words, this is the point where the tangent will finish and the curve will start, and this is giving me the chainage or the station for that point. This is the midpoint of our curve, and this is the end point of our curve. In other words, this is the point where the curve will finish and the second tangent will start. What we called it during our lectures TP2, called in Civil 3D point of tangency. Regardless of these details, which is we will go through down the track when we start talking about alignment, the important part for us at this stage is to look into the Prospector tab. As you've seen before, under the Prospector tab, we didn't have anything under any of these components. Now, if we go to the alignment component, we do have the new alignment, what we just created, called alignment 1, shown on the Prospector tab. How is that going to help us? So as you can see, if we have multiple alignments in our drawing and we need to look at the alignment 1, we can just right click on that and we can go zoom to, and that will give us that exact alignment. Or we can just go to pan to. If we had the alignment on the side, we can go pan to this alignment, and that will bring the alignment to the center of our screen. Or we can just as simple as select this alignment to know what details, and that will open the contextual ribbon for our alignment, and that will give us all the options that we need to work with this alignment. So this is the Prospector tab used on our new alignment. On the other hand, what we need to look at is the Setting tab. How is the Setting tab going to help us during our work? If I look at the Setting tab under the alignments, we've got the alignment style, alignment design check, label style, and table styles. We don't have any tables, we do have labels. All of those are labels for this alignment, so we can look at the styles of these labels. We do have an alignment style, and we'll look through this in a second. Before we go to the details of the alignment settings, let's start with the drawing, the overall settings. So I'm working on the file called drawing 3. So this is the overall settings for drawing 3. If I right click on this title at the top under the Setting tab, I'll go to edit drawing settings. If I go to the settings of the drawings, this will give me the ambient settings for this file. One of those, we'll go through all these details in a second, but before I go there, I'll go to the abbreviations or the terminology of Civil 3D. One of those that we discussed a minute ago, the point of the tangent to curve intersection. So we used to call it TB1. Civil 3D calls this point as PC. From the settings here, we can change this to be TB1. At the same time, where the curve will meet the second tangent, which is the point after the curve. I'll try to zoom into it in a second. So if I just go OK for now, and I'll just try to zoom to this point where the curve will meet the second tangent at the end of the curve. I'll go back to my settings. I can change this one to as TB2. If I press apply and OK, if I look at the changes that we've done, I'm looking at the point where the tangent is finished and the point where the curve is finished. Still, the labels didn't change. Civil 3D will take time just to refresh that. So just to help doing that quickly, I'll go just RE as regenerate. Sorry, just click on the screen. RE will give us regenerate. So I'll press OK. That will give us the new labels are updated on our drawings. So if I would draw a new alignment now, if I just go to alignment 2, just as an example, press OK and draw a tangent with curves, Civil 3D straight away will label these curves the right names as we asked for. So this point now is called TB1 and the end of the curve called TB2. So these are one of the useful settings that we need to change on our files. So if we close from here, we can start looking at the other settings for these alignments. One of those settings that we need to talk about is the distances and pairings details.